just a dream, Jimmy. That's all it is. It's just a dream.
You have seen this. Do you really honestly believe that we have come to a place to where those very senior people in the highest offices of the land, Congress and the White House, really will not do the right thing in the end, that they won't see the error of their ways?
No, sir, they will not. The only chance we have as a country right now is for Osama bin Laden to deploy and detonate a major weapon in the United States, because it's going to take a grassroots, bottom-up pressure, because these politicians prize their office, prize the praise of the media and the Europeans. It's an absurd situation again. Only Osama can execute an attack which will force Americans to demand that their government protect them effectively, consistently, and with as much violence as necessary.
Which is why I was thinking this weekend that would be if I were him, that would be the last thing I would do.
Now at the G8 summit, where their topic number one, believe it or not, was global warming. Their second was African aid, and that was the first time since 9/11 when they should know, and they do know now, that terrorism should be number one.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
Has changed.
Yeah, but it's important for all of them to be together. I think that works to our advantage and the Western world's advantage for people to experience something like this together, just 500 miles from where the attacks have happened.
It puts the number one issue right back on the front burner, right at the point where all these world leaders are meeting. It takes global warming off the front burner. It takes African aid off the front burner. It sticks terrorism and the fight and the war on terror right up front all over again.
The night we were able to sort of get a sense of the grander scheme of things wasn't helpful in all this.
Well, maybe the other thing is, of course, people have, the market was down. It was down yesterday, and you may have had some bargain hunting going on. I mean, my first thought when I heard, just on a personal basis, when I heard that there had been this attack, and I saw the futures this morning, which were really in the tank, I thought, time to buy. There's been a lot of reassurance coming, particularly partly in the way the Brits handled all this, but also in the way that officials here handled it. There seems to be no great fear that something like that is going to happen here, although there's no indication that we here had any advance warning.
Just to get this right, you were actually working today on an exercise that envisioned virtually this scenario.
Almost precisely. I was up until 2 o'clock this morning because it's our job, my own company, Advisor Consultants. We specialize in helping people to get their crisis management response. How do you jump from slow time thinking to quick time doing? And we chose a scenario with their assistance, which is based on a terrorist attack.
Boston Center, Team U. We have a problem here. We have a hijacked aircraft headed towards New York, and we need you guys we need someone to scramble some F-16s or something up there to help us out.
Is this real world or exercise?
No, this is not an exercise, manifest.
One of the great tragedies of the Bush administration, the more successful they've been at intercepting and stopping bad guys, the less proof there is that we're in danger. And therefore, the better they've done at making sure there isn't an attack, the easier it is to say, well, there was never going to be an attack anyway. And it's almost like they should every once in a while have allowed an attack to get through just to remind us. But think about it.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. This president's pretty much a victim of success. We haven't had an attack here in 5 years. Hell, the perception of the threat is so low in society that it's not surprising that the behavior pattern reflects a low threat assessment. And the same thing is in Europe. There's a low threat perception. The correction for that, I suppose, is an attack. And when that happens, then everyone gets energized for another period. And it's a shame we don't have the maturity to recognize the seriousness of the threats the carnage that should be imposed on our society is so real and so present and so serious that you'd think we'd be able to understand it. But as a society, obviously, the longer you get away from 9/11, the less